We are here today in New York during Climate Week and the UN General Assembly, coming together with CEOs and executives from all walks of life to hear directly from them on how they can help to create sustainable impact through their businesses. In the energy transition, renewable energy should be seen as a crucial investment for the future, addressing the trilemma of affordability, sustainability, and security. However, to meet global climate targets, renewable energy companies must lead through investment, innovation, technology, and a cultural shift. Today, we will be speaking with Terje Pilskog, the CEO of Scatec. Hi, Terje, I'm Allison. Great to see you.
Great to meet you.
Who brings with him a deep commitment and understanding towards advancing renewable energy solutions. As a leading renewable energy solutions provider, Scatec is accelerating access to reliable and affordable clean energy in emerging and high-growth markets, driven by a collaborative vision of improving our future. Are you feeling like you're making progress in changing minds that maybe were stuck in the past?
I think we're making progress, but I think it's going way too slow.
What brings you here to Climate Week?
Climate Week is a very important meeting point for Scatec. We come here, we meet with our stakeholders, we meet with our partners, and it's a very important place for us to be in order to discuss how to accelerate the green transition.
Is this your first time at Climate Week, or you've been here before?
Yeah, I've been here before. This is my second time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Scatec a little bit. Why does Scatec view the energy transition as an investment rather than a cost?
Yeah, maybe I can first talk a bit about Scatec, just to give a quick introduction about Scatec.
Please do.
Yeah, so Scatec, we are a company which is really committed to the energy transition, and we drive the energy transition through accelerating investments into renewable energy. And the geographical scope of what we do is emerging markets and high growth markets. And if you look at renewable energy, it becomes more and more affordable. And it's the most affordable source of energy in the countries that we work. And in principle, renewable energy solves the energy trilemma. So what does that mean? It's the most affordable source of energy. It is a sustainable source of energy. And in all the countries where we work, it also provides increased level of energy security, because you do not need to export in or import in fuels from other countries to basically generate the energy you need for your country. So from that point of view, it is a very good thing. And based on these elements, we see that the projects that we are doing in the markets where we work, we are able to have good returns and good margins on these projects. And then on the flip side, if you think about the countries where we invest, it also is a good choice for these countries to move towards renewable energy, because renewable energy is cheaper than the current source of energy that they are using, which in many of these countries is based on oil and gas, and also to some extent coal. And as a matter of fact, if you take, for instance, Africa, in most countries in Africa, energy is being subsidized by the government, because to get the tariffs at the level which is acceptable for the people, oil and gas is too expensive. So what happens if they bring in renewable energy is that they can stop subsidizing electricity, they can stop spending money on buying in oil and gas, and rather use that money for other purposes. As a matter of fact, oil and gas subsidies on a global basis are still significant. According to IMF, in 2023, oil and gas subsidies, they were at $7 trillion, which is a massive amount. And then when people say that we need about $9 trillion to accelerate the energy transition, and they're asking where the money is coming from, the money is available, investments are good, and it actually helps also reducing the need for subsidizing oil and gas.
So how do you sort of change the mindset then, since you believe that it's more of an investment than a cost? How do you get others to have that same mindset as well?
Well, I think first of all, if you think about renewable energy, the cost of renewable energy has come down significantly over the last couple of years. So if you think about renewable energy, it's now the most affordable source of energy in the markets where we operate. So what we call the levelized cost of energy for renewable is lower than any alternative source of energy generation. And on that basis, we see that it's good possibilities of earning a good return and also having a good margin on the projects that we're doing. And then on the flip side, and this is maybe something that not that many people know, but if you think about the host countries where we put and where we implement our projects, they typically will have significant savings related to rather using renewable energy than using energy generation based on traditional sources like oil, coal, and gas, for instance.
Right.
As a matter of fact, in Africa, as an example, most countries subsidize the electricity tariffs significantly because oil and gas is so expensive. So when we come in and we provide renewable energy instead, they are actually saving money from the fact that they don't have to spend that much money on buying oil and gas to generate energy.
Which renewable energy sources are the primary focus for your company, and talk me through why?
Yeah. So in terms of our focus, we are currently now focusing on solar PV, on onshore wind, and on batteries. And there are a couple of reasons for that. First of all, from a fundamental point of view, these are the most competitive sources of energy. Solar panels has decreased in terms of prices by more than 50% over the last couple of years. Batteries have decreased by more than 30% over the last couple of years. So from a cost point of view, this is the most affordable source of energy. And then as a developer, solar and wind are the technologies that takes the shortest time to develop and reach implementation. So this is obviously also good for us. And what we now see is that when you work on these technologies together, you can provide renewable energy not only as an intermittent source, but also as a base load or dispatchable source of renewable energy. So we think that these energy sources are definitely the most competitive ones in the markets where we operate.
Tell me more about Kenhardt, the solar and BESS hybrid project that's in South Africa.
Kenhardt is a fantastic project. It is a project that is able, and it's actually proof of what I just said, in terms of being able to provide renewable energy on a base load or a dispatchable basis at a cost which is lower than the alternatives. So it's a project that is 540 megawatts of solar. It's 225 megawatts of batteries with 1.1 gigawatt hours of battery capacity, but it can deliver energy from 5 a.m. in the morning until 9:30 in the evening. So 16 and a half hours per day baseload energy from renewable energy. So it is really a first of a kind, and it is a massive project. It's $1 billion in total investment. It is 1 million solar panels, 456 containers of batteries. In terms of the sheer size of the product, the space it takes about 1,500 football fields, just sort of to give you the impression of how big it is. And it took about 18 months to construct, and we had about 2,600 workers on site at max.
That's a massive project.
Yeah. Yeah.
But something you're obviously very proud of.
Yeah, something we are very proud of, because I think it's probably the largest hybrid project across Africa, Latin America, Europe. So it's a first of a kind, and I think what's important of it is the fact that it was awarded to us in competition with all other energy sources. So it's really a proof that renewable energy can compete with all other energy sources, also on a baseload basis. So I think that's important for us, but also important for the energy transition, and obviously important for the mission that we have.
Can you give us some details about the Women of Mendubim project in Brazil that's happening?
Yeah, so Mendubim is another large project that we're doing. It's 531 megawatts. It is also a bit unique due to the fact that this project is delivering energy to Alunorte in Brazil, which is the world's largest alumina refinery. And so it's a very important project also for our customer on their transition to also become more green. So from that point of view, it's a very interesting project. But when it comes to the Women of Mendubim, what we wanted to achieve in this project is to ensure that we had as high degree of female workers on site as possible. So what we did was that we established a solar panel assembly course for women, and we certified 240 women through this course. And what this did was that it reduced the barrier and motivated all of these women to come and work for us on the construction side. And having women on the construction side in Brazil is extremely rare. So the fact that through this we managed to have a very high degree of women on the site. And I can tell you that sort of when we went over there for the inauguration of this project and we saw the pride of these women in terms of sort of being able to show that they were able to do the same work as the men had been doing, I mean, that was priceless. It was really amazing.
Yeah, it's great when a renewable energy project, in addition to giving jobs, then helps the economy as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So just to continue on that, I think the good thing with renewable energy, when we deploy it, I mean, typically we deploy it in quite rural areas, quite in emerging markets or high growth markets. And then we see a lot of opportunities to also create opportunities for work for the local communities. So typically on a solar plant, you would have in the range of 80% of the workers that you are sourcing from the local communities. So that's already a very good thing. In addition, there's lots of services that you need can also be bought from the local communities. So that's sort of another thing which is really good with these projects. And then thirdly, related to these projects, we will typically look for ways of creating social programs for the communities. So we will typically focus on health-related issues for women and children, and also education. And actually in 2023, on a global basis, we ran 150 such programs.
It's amazing, doing good for the planet and doing good for economies and for people who live in these countries where they're having these renewable resources. Such a pleasure talking with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
As a leading renewable energy solutions provider in emerging and high-growth markets, Scatec is committed to aligning its business strategy and operations with the ambitious goals set forth by COP and Climate Week New York City to combat climate change and achieve sustainability. Good news is fundamentals for renewables continue to strengthen, and price drops in solar modules and energy storage systems are paving the way for attractive growth. Scatec says energy transition is an investment, not a cost, and partnerships between the public and private sector is key to succeed in the transition.